Once you're done printing for the day, it's time to clean up your workspace. If you are going to be using the same screens for the same job again later, it's okay to leave Plastisol ink in the screen, but you do not want to leave it in the open mesh area. So we're going to do a final print stroke to clean out the ink at the end of the day, make sure there's no ink stuck in our image area. Also, you want to make sure that there's no dust or lint in your shop that can get into the ink. If there is, you want to cover the ink with the trash bag or something like that. If you are using water-based ink, you probably want to pull out the ink and take out as much ink as possible with a clean card. You can take out the rest with 1 to 2 wet rags or a junk shirt until the image is open. Keep your screens in register so you do not have to register them again. It's a great idea to wipe down your press at the end of the day, or at least once a week. There are press cleaners available, but WD-40 also works great for this and leaves your press nice and glossy with an oily surface that is hard to stick to and easy to clean. If you're done with your job, you want to clean your screens. First, card off as much ink as possible. I have 3 tools that I like to use for this. Wearing gloves is also a great idea. Place something underneath your screen, like a junk shirt or piece of cardboard, so your cleaner doesn't get onto the floor or your press platen. My favorite tool is an ink metal knife. Then I like a disposable card, and then finally a plastic goop scoop. The ink knife does a great job of scraping the screen clean, but it's a little bit harder to use because it's skinny. Cleanup cards are bigger and take out a lot more ink. For on-press cleaning, I'm using Screen Supreme to clean the Plastisol. With a chemical-resistant spray bottle, take a few squirts of product on a de-ink screen. Use a dirty rag to get off the majority of the ink. Then you can spray on a little bit more product and use a squeegee to clean out the image area. This is much quicker and a sweet trick. If you're using the same color of ink again or reclaiming the screen, you don't have to worry about getting all the ink out. However, if you're doing a color change, you want to get the screen cleaner with a clean rag and buff it out so there's no color residue left on the rag. If you are doing color switches, it's always best to start with lighter colors and then move to darker. If you're not saving the screen, let's go ahead and take it down to the darkroom to finish the cleaning process. First, of course, you want to remove your ink, which we did on press. Next, you can use a wet ink cleaner called Ink Degrader in order to remove the rest of the ink. We have Plastisol and water-based versions of this. Today, as you can tell, we're using our dirty washout sink. It's a good idea to have a clean and a dirty sink if you have the space and can afford to. However, if you can't, make sure you always clean your dirty sink. Spray a small amount of water on the screen and then a few squirts of Screen Aqua for water-based inks. Next, take a scrub brush marked for Ink Degrader and agitate and degrade the ink. You will immediately see the ink start to break down. Once scrubbing is completed, rinse with water. Below our sink, we're using our screen filtration unit, which filters out our thicker clumps of ink and filters down the water to 20 microns. If you don't have this, I would think about getting it because it's better for the environment, or you can clean your screens in a dry environment like we showed up on press. After cleaning the screen, you can remove the tape. Be careful to get all the tape, including the registration marks. If you use actual screen tape versus clear masking tape, this makes it a lot easier. After our screen is clean and free of tape, it's now time to remove our image and reclaim our screen. There are 2 basic ways to do this. The first is with emulsion remover. There are different concentrates and powers of emulsion remover, but for this video we're using our eco-friendly screen stripper, which can be used straight out of the container or mixed down 3-to-1 with water. I do like using it concentrated because it has a little bit more power, but if you mix it down, you do save money. Get the screen wet on both sides and spray a generous amount of emulsion remover on both sides of the screen. Using a scrub brush labeled specifically for emulsion remover, agitate the emulsion. You should see the emulsion start to break down. If not, spray some more emulsion remover on it and then continue the work. Once the emulsion has broken down, you can use pressure to spray it out. I would highly recommend the use of a pressure washer. If you don't have access to one, you can use a strong hose nozzle to get the majority of the emulsion out. In this case, you would want to degrade the emulsion more with more emulsion remover, so spray out is a little bit easier, but a pressure washer is ideal. The second way to reclaim a screen is a dip tank. A dip tank is a great way to speed up the process and reduce the waste. A dip tank works by putting emulsion removing screen cleaning chemicals into a tank with about 30 to 50 gallons of water depending on the size of the tank. After your screens are de-inked and de-taped, you dunk the screens into the dip tank. In this dip tank, we are using our industrial dip tank solution, which is a 10-to-1 product. 5 gallons of water makes 50 gallons of water in the tank. The screen sits between 3 to 5 minutes as the tank solution breaks down the emulsion. Once done, you can take the screen out and spray with pressure. Depending on how much chemical and ink you're using and depending on how many screens you're processing per day, your solution will typically last 3 to 6 months. Over time, the solution will not work as well and can be rejuvenated by just adding some concentrate back in. The dip tank we just used can hold about 6 screens, and as you can see, it really speeds things up. but because of its size and cost, it's really meant for full-time screen printing operations. If you are having issues getting your emulsion off, try the following. Use a little bit more emulsion remover and scrub, and then spray. And if that doesn't work, try using more pressure. And if that doesn't work, try dehazing and soaking it and then spraying with more pressure again. If you're having problems reclaiming your screen, getting the emulsion out, typically it's due to original underexposure. Making that screen hard and that stencil chemical resistant is very important, and that happens with proper exposure. If it's underexposed, it will be soft, it will receive the chemicals and inks that you use during the process. So go for a longer exposure to begin with and post-harden, and your reclaiming will be a lot easier. Dehazing is the last step and the first step of the process. You can use pretty nasty dehazers, but I recommend using something a little bit more friendly. The screen stuff not only dehazes, but also gets the emulsion out and degreases at the same time. Apply a generous amount of the screen stuff, agitate with the screen stuff scrub brush, and let sit for 3 to 5 minutes. Rinse with clean water from the bottom to the top, and then do a final rinse with pressure. Doing these 2 steps with the screen stuff allows you to set the screen to dry and then ready to coat for emulsion for the next job. And there you have it, the screen printing process. Yeah, it's a little complex, but remember, we're here to help you along the way. Whether you have questions on dialing in the process or are looking to expand, all of our videos, our phone, chat, and email support are free to use as a screen printer. Use them. Check out our website, screenprinting.com, and connect there to the blog and the knowledge base. Also, for over 1,500 screen printing videos, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For advanced learning, we offer hands-on classes and online classes so you can learn about art, business, and printing. Check out those offers here as well. As you expand past these basic techniques we taught you in this video, you want to go faster, become more efficient, print a wider variety, here's some ways you can do just that. Ryonet manufactures the FX LED exposure unit that exposes screens 10 times as fast with 3 times the detail. Increase your quality and drastically cut down screen making time with this smart investment. We also have a CTS version of this available to expose computer image screens. What if you could cut out that registration process completely? With our pre-registration systems, you can almost do just that. A pre-registration system allows you to register your films to the exact spot on every screen and place the screen into the exact place on the press so you don't have to register the job much at all. There is some human error, but these systems can be over 90% accurate. Keep in mind as you grow and expand, Rock Automatic machines have flexible programs with amazing quality. Owning an automatic press may be easier and closer than you think.